Reflections for the month of May, which is dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary. 21st day. Consideration of the Sacrament of Confession. Do you sin and not go presently to confession? And yet, if you are ill, you call in a physician, a sign that you prize the health of the body more than that of the soul. But if you die in your sin without confession, woe to you for all eternity. Meantime, while you put off confession, sin strikes root in the soul. It becomes a habit. It grows into a nature. A solemn time comes. Easter is here, and then only you go to confession. So then, you must die at Easter or at some solemn time if you mean to be saved. You do not sin, and that is why you do not go to confession. However, for all that, you commit venial sins every day. What a great debt to make satisfaction for in the fire of purgatory. You might disburden yourself of them by a frequent confession, and you do not care to do so. You are then behindhand in the interests of the soul. You would not venture to appear in public with a single spot of dirt upon your face without washing yourself. And yet, with so many spots upon your soul, you dare to present yourself every day without blushing before the eyes of the whole of heaven. You will say, I have tried going often to confession, and I am only just the same as I was. But have you ever tried making a good confession? If after examining yourself, grieving, making resolution, and confessing, you fall into sin, how will it turn out when you give up doing anything of the kind? Oh, if one of the damned had the opportunity of confessing that you have. Yet a time will come when even you will wish to be able to make a good confession and will not be able. Example. If you reflected that God may punish you in your sin, you would not put off confessing it so long. A youth of Mexico in the year 1611, though he frequented the congregation, yet allowed himself to be induced by bad company to consent to a grievous sin. He arranged the time and the place with his companions and went with them to put the infamous design into execution. There met him in the street a grave man with a majestic look. I should think it was his guardian angel, who was seen by himself only, and not by his companions, who drew close up to him and gave him a great blow upon the breast, saying, You that are a brother of the congregation, dare you commit such wickedness as this? At this he fell half dead on to the ground. His companions ran up to him quickly, cheered him, and asked him what was the matter. He replied, Lead me to a confessor. He would say no more. His companions, though their thoughts were running in another direction, yet not to distress him, made the best of their way with him to a church, where he called a confessor. He told him all that had happened, and then made a devout confession, and kept a pure conscience for the rest of his life. Blessed be the hand which drew him from sin, which put him again into the right path of virtue, and by striking his breast gave him compassionate heart. Act of homage. Examine yourself about your confessions, and resolve to correct your defects. Ejaculation. Mater Divina Gratiae, ora pro nobis. Sweet stewardess of God, thy prayers we beg, who are God's ransomed heirs. Amen.